The digital world, a realm often perceived as cold and logical, just threw us a curveball so profound, so utterly baffling, it threatens to redefine our understanding of reality. Imagine waking up to news that isn't about stock markets or political squabbles, but something straight out of science fiction. On March 17th and 18th, 2026, the United States government, specifically the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, in conjunction with the White House, quietly, almost imperceptibly, registered two web domains, alien.gov and aliens.gov. This wasn't a leak. It was a verifiable fact, a digital breadcrumb left in plain sight. But here's the kicker. Both sites are completely blank, a digital void. No content, no flashy graphics, just an empty expanse waiting to be filled. The immediate mystery was palpable, a collective gasp echoing across the internet. Why would the most powerful government on Earth suddenly lay claim to these names? There was no official explanation, just a deafening silence from the usual channels. Then, like a signal from another world, White House spokesperson Anna Kelly offered a cryptic yet tantalizing response. Her official statement was a mere 3 words, accompanied by an emoji that sent chills down the spine of every conspiracy theorist and hopeful stargazer. Stay tuned. This isn't just another news cycle. This is a 21st century enigma unfolding in real time. We're talking about a 48-hour news window, the kind of breaking story that demands immediate attention, the kind that might just shift the very foundations of human knowledge. Let's dissect this digital anomaly with surgical precision. The dates are critical, March 17th and 18th, 2026. The entities involved, CISA, an agency dedicated to protecting critical infrastructure from cyber threats, and the White House, the very heart of American power. This isn't some rogue programmer in a basement. This is the federal government. What makes this even more perplexing is the context. For years, the government had placed a moratorium on new .gov domain registrations, citing budget constraints and a need to streamline digital assets. Yet, here we are, witnessing the registration of not one but 2 highly unusual domains. Why now? What changed so dramatically that the rules were bent, or perhaps shattered entirely, for alien.gov? Picture this, a computer screen, its glow reflecting off a shocked human face. On the monitor, stark white text against a black background reads alien.gov, followed by an error message. Below it, green binary code cascades down the screen, reminiscent of a scene from a classic sci-fi film. And then, in bold, undeniable letters, the declaration. The greatest digital secret. This isn't just about a website, it's about what that website represents. It's about the untold story, the hidden narratives that might finally be brought into the light. So the stage is set. The domains are registered, the White House has delivered its enigmatic message, and the world holds its breath. What comes next? Is this an elaborate prank? A sophisticated disinformation campaign? Or could this be the first ripple of a wave that will forever alter human history? This isn't merely a technological event. It's a cultural earthquake, hinting at a future we can barely comprehend. The historical weight behind these 2 simple domain names is immense, touching on decades of secrecy, speculation, and fervent belief. This isn't just another website launch. It's potentially a pivotal moment, perhaps the most significant digital event of our lifetime. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The historical weight behind these 2 simple domain names is immense, touching on decades of secrecy, speculation, and fervent belief. This isn't just another website launch. It's potentially a pivotal moment, perhaps the most significant digital event of our lifetime. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. To fully grasp the magnitude of alien.gov and aliens.gov, we must journey back through a history steeped in whispers and wonders, a narrative of government secrecy and tantalizing glimpses of disclosure. For generations, 2 names have resonated in the public consciousness whenever extraterrestrial life is discussed: Roswell and Area 51. Roswell, New Mexico, the site of a supposed UFO crash in 1947, ignited the modern fascination with flying saucers and government cover-ups. Area 51, nestled deep within the Nevada desert, became synonymous with top-secret research, alien technology, and hushed experiments. These locations aren't just geographical points, they are cultural touchstones, etched into our collective imagination as places where the truth about aliens is hidden. Their enduring legacy fuels the current speculation, making any official government move concerning aliens instantly charged with historical significance. But the current climate of disclosure isn't merely a product of mid-20th century folklore. It's been actively shaped by recent, high-level directives and admissions. In February 2026, just weeks before the mysterious domain registrations, former President Trump issued a groundbreaking order. He directed the full declassification of all government files related to UFOs and extraterrestrial life, a move that sent shockwaves through intelligence communities and excited observers worldwide. This wasn't some minor administrative adjustment, it was a direct command to peel back layers of secrecy built over decades. Adding another layer to this pre-alien.gov narrative, former President Obama, in a widely publicized podcast appearance, casually stated that aliens are real. His admission, delivered with a certain nonchalance, immediately sparked debate. Was this a carefully orchestrated soft disclosure, or a slip of the tongue from a former commander-in-chief? Trump, ever the provocateur, quickly accused Obama of leaking classified information, further fanning the flames of speculation and lending an air of credibility to the idea that there was indeed something significant being withheld. These presidential pronouncements didn't occur in a vacuum. They were preceded by years of growing public pressure and official scrutiny. From 2023 to 2025, the United States Congress held a series of unprecedented hearings on unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, as the government now prefers to call them. These weren't quiet backroom briefings. They were public spectacles, featuring testimony from military witnesses who shared their encounters with inexplicable phenomena. 4 decorated service members, risking their careers and reputations, spoke before lawmakers, describing objects that defied known physics, exhibiting capabilities far beyond anything in humanity's arsenal. Perhaps the most explosive testimony came from David Grush, a former intelligence officer with a distinguished record. Grush, under oath, made the astonishing claim that the Pentagon was in possession of non-human technology recovered from crash sites. He alleged that the government had a secret, long-standing program dedicated to reverse engineering these exotic materials. His testimony wasn't just a revelation, it was an accusation of decades of deliberate concealment. Of course, the Pentagon, in its official capacity, has consistently denied these claims. They maintain that no such programs exist and that any retrieved objects are of terrestrial origin or misidentified conventional phenomena. This steadfast denial, however, only serves to deepen the mystery, creating a stark contrast between official statements and the compelling testimonies of credible witnesses. It's a classic tale of 2 narratives, one of secrecy and one of emergent truth, playing out on the world stage. So, let's connect these seemingly disparate dots. We have a history of public fascination and government secrecy surrounding Roswell and Area 51. We have former President Trump's directive to declassify files, followed by former President Obama's casual admission about the reality of aliens. And we have the dramatic congressional hearings, with military witnesses and David Grush's bombshell claims, all met with the Pentagon's unwavering denials. Now, in March 2026, these threads converge with the registration of alien.gov and aliens.gov. Is it possible that all these events, the historical context, the presidential statements, the congressional scrutiny, the military testimonies, are now culminating in this digital unveiling? Is this the moment when the long-held secrets begin to unravel, not through a dramatic spaceship landing, but through a simple yet profoundly impactful website address? The rhythm of breaking news demands our attention, forcing us to consider that these domains might not just be placeholder URLs, but portals to a truth that has been quietly, meticulously prepared for public consumption. The question isn't just what alien.gov will contain, but why now, and what decades of history have led to this precise digital moment. The confluence of these historical events, presidential declarations, and congressional revelations inevitably leads us to the present moment and the most pressing question: what exactly do alien.gov and aliens.gov signify? The digital frontier, in this context, becomes a canvas for three prevailing theories, each offering a distinct vision of humanity's immediate future. The first, and perhaps most anticipated theory, posits that these websites are the government's long-awaited platform for official disclosure. Imagine alien.gov as the digital gateway to truths, long held captive in classified archives. This perspective aligns perfectly with former President Trump's February 2026 directive to declassify UFO and extraterrestrial life files. The sites could serve as the central repository for documents, videos, and scientific data, finally revealing the extent of non-human technology recovered from crash sites, as alleged by David Grush. Such a revelation would not only confirm decades of speculation, but fundamentally alter humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos. It would be a moment of unparalleled transparency, fulfilling the public's demand for answers and potentially ushering in an era of unprecedented scientific and philosophical advancement. The White House spokesperson Anna Kelly's cryptic "Stay tuned" with an alien emoji could be interpreted as a playful hint at this monumental unveiling, a subtle nod to the gravity of what's to come. However, a second, more cautious theory suggests that alien, gov, and aliens. Gov might be a sophisticated government initiative to control the narrative. This theory branches into two possibilities, either a sincere effort at public engagement or, more cynically, a tool for disinformation. In the former case, the sites could become a hub for official information regarding space exploration, future missions, or even a controlled release of carefully vetted, non-threatening data about potential extraterrestrial encounters. It would be a way to manage public expectations and prevent panic, slowly integrating the concept of alien life into mainstream consciousness. The alternative and more unsettling interpretation is that these sites are designed to manage misinformation. In an age of rampant conspiracy theories, the government might be attempting to funnel public discourse into officially sanctioned channels, discrediting unauthorized leaks or sensationalized reports. By providing an official version of events, even if incomplete, they could effectively shape public perception and maintain a degree of control over a potentially volatile topic. The Pentagon's consistent denials of Grush's claims, despite compelling testimony, lend credence to the idea that narrative control remains a high priority. The third theory, perhaps the most cynical but nonetheless plausible, views alien.gov as a digital red herring. This perspective suggests the websites are a calculated distraction designed to divert public attention from other, more pressing political or social issues. In a world grappling with economic instability, climate crises, or domestic unrest, the tantalizing promise of extraterrestrial revelation could be a powerful tool to shift focus. The public's perennial fascination with the unknown, especially aliens, makes it an ideal subject for such a maneuver. By leveraging this innate curiosity, the government could buy time, diffuse criticism, or even lay the groundwork for policies that might otherwise face significant opposition. The blank pages of alien.gov, currently devoid of content, could be seen as a deliberate void, waiting to be filled with whatever narrative best serves a hidden agenda. These theories, while distinct, share a common thread. They highlight the profound challenge of rebuilding public trust, especially when governments have historically maintained secrecy on such sensitive topics. The echoes of Roswell and Area 51, where transparency was promised but often withheld, linger. The question isn't just what alien.gov will reveal, but whether the public, after generations of skepticism, will believe it. Ultimately, the implications of alien.gov and aliens.gov extend far beyond American borders. What these sites eventually contain will profoundly impact international relations, scientific research, and humanity's collective understanding of its place in the universe. For countries like Brazil, and indeed for every nation on Earth, an official acknowledgement of extraterrestrial life would necessitate a global conversation, potentially leading to new alliances, shared scientific endeavors, and a re-evaluation of our planetary priorities. As we stand on the precipice of what could be the greatest digital secret unveiled, we must remain vigilant, stay informed, critically analyze every piece of information that emerges, and engage in the unfolding narrative. The blank pages of Alien.gov and aliens.gov are not just empty spaces. They are an invitation to ponder the profound possibilities and uncertainties of what lies beyond. The future, it seems, is not just digital, but potentially extraterrestrial.